Hello, StarCraft fans! This is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload, and today it's going to be a game between Crazy and ViBE here on Acid Plant, the latter edition. In the top left-hand corner of the map, we've got the red Terran player. His name is Crazy. And in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, it's going to be the blue Zerg player, ViBE, from Root Gaming. We've cast some ViBE games before. Probably the first time I've seen Crazy show up on the channel. This game was sent to me at falconpaladin@gmail.com. Said GM level good game, and I said, you know what? That works for me. I'm going to cast this sight unseen. People don't send me GM games that are terrible. They just don't. I mean, I suppose it may happen one day, but so far, about 3 years in, it's not really a problem. So the problem with searching for the player named Crazy in StarCraft is that it's the label for many videos. Crazy StarCraft 2 game. Crazy Legacy of the Void game. Let's do Crazy StarCraft player. Apparently, ViBE was going random? Because I'm Z. I'm Z, just so you know. Yeah. Oh, wait, here he is. Here he is. Here's Crazy on Liquipedia. I found him. He's a Korean Zerg player, GM level. Let's see. Used to play for KT Rolster. Currently retired as of 2013. Is this the guy? I don't know if this is the guy. I'm so confused. Could be. Could be another guy that's going by Crazy, but whatever. Whatever at this point. Alright, there is a Reaper on its way here from Crazy. The expansion coming down for the Terran player next. Wow, 3-hatch very early for ViBE here. Was that 3-hatch before pool? No, looks like 3rd hatch after pool, but pretty close. Pretty darn close. This Reaper's name is Trump. The loud U.S. president was heard by the Protoss, and he annoyed them, so they abducted him and put him... Oop. Wait, wrong thing. That's not the right one at all. Shoot, where'd my list go? Oh, this cast is a lot of me looking at my phone, but so far so good. I think we're okay with it. Reaper name. Caleb Sage. Caleb was once a young cowboy who lived a peaceful life on a ranch he inherited from his Terran grandfather Buzz. But one day a swarm of feral Zerglings came and killed off all his livestock. Seeing that his life was now in shambles, Caleb grabbed his grandfather's old pistol and decided to live a life serving the Terran army and killing the Zerg. So far, so good, man. 2 lings down. These drones are fully undefended. No, don't. Oh, there we go. Turning into a spore crawler, as you do if you're an undefended drone and there's a Reaper hitting on you. Well, not hitting on you, but shooting you in the face is a more accurate way to describe that. This Reaper almost dead. Caleb, go. Go, Caleb. Get him. Another ling kill. No! Micro a little bit off there. Caleb Sage goes down swinging, though. 3 lings killed. Forced a spore crawler out of ViBE. That was pretty good. Pretty successful. I mean, he didn't scout. Let's see. Did he actually manage to scout this base? Yes, he did manage to scout the 3rd base, so he knows it's there, which is really good information to have. The main base, he doesn't know how much gas there is or if there's a lair yet. But again, the timing on the 3rd tells him can't really tech up too fast if you're ViBE on 3 bases before 2 minutes. So I think he's okay. I think he knows there's going to be a macro-style opening here from ViBE. He can feel free to tech up, possibly start making his own 3rd base fairly soon here, in all honesty. But perhaps he just wants to go for the kill as well. He's got 2 Hellions, making another 2 off this reactored factory, working on Stim, which means he's not going to go mech, which means he's probably going to go bio at some point here after several Hellions. Anywhere from 4 to 6 to 8, honestly. We've seen players go for 8, 10 Hellions and then transition to bio. So just because your opponent has a lot of Hellions in the early games, or players, don't assume it's going to be a mech play. You can't assume that. You could absolutely be wrong. Can still definitely go for bio after this. Crazy making a Viking, probably to clear out these overlords that are definitely north and south of the main base of Crazy here. 3rd base, fairly undefended. There's a single queen here, but dang, there are still drones. And are there drones transferring? There are drones transferring. Ah, yes, but ViBE is subscribing to the Snoot school of making a million queens in the early game. He has 8 now. That's a lot in 4 minutes. Drones are transferring. Spiky little war chest drones transferring down here. And I think they're safe. I don't know if you can come in here with this many queens. Look at the spread by ViBE, too. Making sure you can't go anywhere without getting hit in the face with queens. Also walling up his natural base very, very nicely with Evolution Chamber, and Roach Warren. So Roach Warren coming in. I don't really like Roaches against bio. Real good against Hellbats and Hellions, though. So for the early game, fine. But I'd like to see maybe some Banelings, some other stuff. Lurkers, possibly, out of ViBE. Anyway, these Hellions are not doing a lot of work. Come on, Crazy. I don't know if you can go for the run vibe. Picks off a creep tumor and doesn't lose a Hellion in the process, so that's some free damage done. But again, when there are this many queens, creep tumors are kind of a dime a dozen. You don't really have to worry about them too much as the Zerg player. So if that's something you really hate is losing creep tumors, make a billion queens in the early game. You can remake them. No big deal. Creep tumors are a dime a dozen. I think I already said that. 10 drones in production at once here for ViBE. 10. There is a Liberator coming in for crazy, swinging into the main base location. More creep tumors going down on the edge. These Hellions are not committing. They're just killing creep tumors, and that's probably what they need to do right now, because going in here would be instant death. Well, not instant death, but they would all die. And right now they kind of have map control. ViBE sees the Liberator. Drone. Why is this drone over here? Blah! Spore Crawler made, and one drone does go down. Again, one shot in those drones. Queen getting some nice shots off. 2 spores coming in the main base. They won't be done for quite a while, though. Any such thing at the natural? No, but Queen has a much better area to defend. Yeah, look at her. Look at her setting up. All right, Liberator, come over this way. I will take you down. Don't you worry about it. And a 4th base coming up for ViBE. Oh, boy. Crazy. You are falling behind on the macros really, really hard right now. Viking flying over, will scout the 4th base. The scouting information by Crazy has been really good thus far. I'm actually kind of impressed with this. Queen, get out of there, Queen. Get out of there, Queen. Does take 3 hits. Does take 2 and live. Other Queen to the main base getting some shots off. The Liberator has a drone kill, but so far not really paying for itself. Overlord scouts in, sees all the barracks, and says, okay, definitely Bio. Definitely Bio coming up next here, because to now, it's been a little bit up in the air. Hellions and a Liberator, you could absolutely go mech out of this, but Overlord sees the reactor at Starport, sees the number of barracks, the sheer number of 5 barracks here, and says, yeah, that's definitely going to be the Bio. So what does he do in response? Well, makes a Hydralisk Den, but the thing is, Hydralisk Dens are standard in pretty much every matchup right now. Hydras are good. They're really good in the current patch of Legacy of the Void. They did split up the upgrades, as we know, in 4.1.4. Grouped spines for the range increase by 1. And muscular augments for the speed upgrade. Again, Hellions on the edge of the creep here, trying to push it back, but the Queens just saying, no, we are spreading creep. That is what we are here to do. And ViBE double expanding to a 5th base at the same time. Well, I guess his 4th base is done now on the bottom left, but his 5th is a little bit north of the natural. And a 3rd base is down for Crazy. So he's only down technically 1 base right now, which is fine. 20 Hydras at once being made by ViBE. He's just been virtually untouched. He's lost a drone in the first 7.5 minutes. And as we've seen in ZVTs and ZVPs on the channel recently, you cannot beat a Zerg player if you kill 1 drone in the first 10 minutes. You are in so much trouble if that's all you get. So Crazy pushing in with Marines and tanks. He says that 10-minute timer is coming. I got to get some damage done. I got to take down this 4th base, if at all possible here. Tank, Marine, Hellion, Hellbat rather. Pretty good against Hydra. That ViBE's going for here. It's just a lot of Hydras. We've seen Hydras crush through this before. The 4th base is going to go down. The sheer DPS of this army is enough to get rid of it. Excellent job there by Crazy. 3 tanks set up. Queens. Wow, all the Queens are here. All the Hydras are here as well. This is a crazy engagement between these 2 players. I think the Hydras and Queens are going to do it. They're going to force this Terran army back. Tanks left behind. They didn't even get out of there, and they're gone. So resources lost at this point. We're looking at 1,800 for Crazy and 2,600 for ViBE. So far, staying cost efficient is Crazy. Thought about faking a drop, I guess. These are empty medevacs. I don't know why they swung over that way unless they were faking a drop. But then they went home, so I don't know how really useful that was. 15 Hydras on the way for ViBE. He's going for this super duper mass Hydra play. He's going for a Lurker Den? Is he getting Banelings? Just this mass Hydra. Is he experimenting here? Does he feel like mass Hydra can just beat Terrans straight up with tanks and Marines and stuff? It kind of seems like he feels that way. Going for the muscular augments, so the Hydras are faster off creep. Creep spread is disgusting by ViBE right now. It's very, very good. 32 Hydras and 11 Queens, and that's it. There's a drop in the main, though. Drop in the main. Gonna actually deny that upgrade. The Hydra's trying to stop it. No, can't get it. Can't get it. Good stutter step backward. Goodbye, Broodlings. Oh, the medevac got picked off by the Hydras. That was really good out of ViBE there. Gonna pick off some drones. Can't stand against this number of 18 million Hydras. This is like a whole page of Hydralisks. It is. It is. Pushing up the creep on the other side, though, is Crazy. Multitasking his little heart out right now. Killing creep tumors, pushing back that creep. The creep queens are super upset about that. Creep queen is one of the hardest things to say in my StarCraft casting. Creep queen. I want to say creep queen most of the time. That seems incorrect. +1/+1 done on the Marines. The tank upgrade doesn't have anything yet. Nothing on the way either. Hydras, again, just real scary in straight-up situations here. But they did push back the creep, and ViBE has not retaken his 4th base. Oh, but he's retaking, I guess we're going to call this I don't know, call it his 6th base up on the right side? Sure. He's expanding up the right side rather than the bottom left side. It's easier for him to defend, it seems. ViBE, you crazy. Why are you going Mass Hydra? 28 Hydras and 7 Queens, and that's it. That's all he has. Working on +2/+2 for those Hydras. A Hive coming in too. Also a Ghost Academy out of Crazy, which I am very interested to see if that's going to be nukes. I like nukes. I've always loved nukes since the original Brood War days. Nukes. Good times. Good times. All right, you still don't have a 4th base, Crazy. You're killing me, man. You're killing me. Oh, he does. It's right here. I was looking at it. Sometimes I'm blind. So 4th base is done. Upgrading to a planetary fortress. Crazy staying near to it as he knows how vulnerable it is before that PF upgrade completes. And +2/+2 just seconds away from being done. Actually, is it done? It's done. All right, it's done for Crazy. Good timing here. I like this very much. It's before the +2/+2 for ViBE is done. Hydra's getting out of range of the tank splash. And yes, if the Marines want to engage there, they can. It is pure Marine tank right now. It is 82 Marines and 3 tanks and a Viking. So this is one of the least, I'd say, least diverse games of StarCraft 2 I've ever seen. Mass Hydra versus Marine tank. And that's it. And some medevacs, I guess. Personal cloaking on the way from Crazy. This drop at 3rd base doing a lot more than I thought it would, and a huge attack into ViBE's 5th base. The army heading down to deal with the drop at the 3rd because they kind of need to, but too much committed from ViBE. He ends up losing this 6th base, and the push towards his 5th is continuing here. This is looking real bad. Real bad for the Zerg player. Trying to sneak in with medevacs in the main base, too. The multitasking from Crazy has been just excellent. Over 300 APM for both of these players throughout this game thus far. Yep, drop in the main. It's not even a huge Marine drop. It's just 5 of them. But here's a Queen, and the Queen's going to die. And here comes another Marine push. Just, again, not committing. Doing a very good job not committing here. Infestation Pit might die, but nope. Hydras showed up. That small 5 Marine group did get completely wiped off the face of the earth. Medevac makes it back to start healing these guys up. And this is just so stubborn from these guys. It's just Marines from Crazy. And there's a Viper on the way from ViBE. All right, so that's good. He's effectively maxed out, though. 191 supply. Queens, Viper for Blinding Cloud for the tanks, I have to assume, but otherwise just Mass Hydra. It's like ViBE is trying to make a point here. He's trying to do proof of concept, because how good is Mass Hydra against Terrans? And so far, it's pretty good. Every straight-up engagement he's committed to, he's pretty much won. Again, he's overcommitted a little bit to defending and left himself open in other areas thus far, but I don't know. I don't know if it's enough for him to lose the game. Resources lost. Oh, there's the abduct on the tank. So 2 tanks abducted and immediately taken down. Still tanks remaining for Crazy, but not that many. Goodbye, tank. Goodbye. Marines coming right on in. Rah, +2/+2. There is a tank with them and more reinforcements coming in. A single Marauder snuck in somehow. Okay, there's a couple. Probably intentional then. No, ViBE's going to lose his 5th base right here. I don't know. Fighting on top of a base is real bad for Zerg right now. And look at the supply plummeting for ViBE. He was at 191. He's down to 183 because he's making 35 Hydras at once. Okay, I was going to say, he was down to 150 or so, but then he's making 35 Hydras at the same time. Oh, the Viper's getting picked out. Nice pick off there from Crazy. No more Vipers for you. +3/+3 isn't even done yet, but I don't know that it really matters here. Just small engagements of fighting happening. This tank trying to kill an egg for some reason. These Marines are just looking moderately invincible until the second that they die. And pulling back. Medevacs for Crazy. Tank gone too, but losing another base is ViBE. He's down to 3 bases. Well, no. Actually, he made one up here while all that was happening. So that would be his, dang it, 7th base? Do we want to call it a 7th, even though he's only on 4 right now? So confusing. Numbering bases is hard. We'll call it a 7th, even though he's kind of abandoned everything else. Yeah, just the straight Hydra thing from ViBE. I don't really see it working out all that well for him. Crazy. Just getting those tanks. No upgrades on the tanks. Hydras don't really have enough HP to necessitate upgrades, I don't think, but somehow the Hydras won that engagement anyway. Do they have? They got the +3/+3 before Crazy does. Crazy's bio is still +2/+2. And these Hydras are fully upgraded. And it's 116 to 107 total supply. A high ground harassment from these Hydras. Alliteration. Alliteration is fun. At this 4th base of Crazy, losing some mules there, not great. Dispatching some bio to handle it. Hydras think about clearing it out, then decide, perhaps that's not something you'd like to do. 4th base getting retaken by ViBE. That's good. Good to see this base coming back up for him. And ViBE says, I can beat this Terran player with straight Hydra. I don't need anything else. My Vipers died, so what? I don't need them. I don't need them. Vipers are for chumps, as it turns out. Hydra's marching right up into the barracks production outside the natural base of Crazy. Enough bio. They do have the full upgrades now, but there's no medevac support. Where the heck are your medevacs, dude? You've got 2 of them? He's lost 8 so far. ViBE's done an excellent job picking medevacs off from the sky. Jeez, 11 more Hydras. I mean, I could pretty much just stop reading out ViBE's production tab because it's just Hydra. It's just Hydra all the livelong day. Crazy's 4th base has 0 workers at it. Can he? I mean, they're here. I don't know. Where did they go? I guess, again, the Hydras are problems. This high ground stuff. Really annoying, I have to imagine, for Crazy there, but pretty good positioning there by ViBE. Tank count is 3, and a total of 9 of them have been killed so far. Tank's just getting destroyed. Turnabout is fair play. Says Crazy high ground harasses this 7th base of ViBE's. So 4th base happily up and running, clearing out creep tumors. Crazy. He's killed a lot of creep tumors, actually. How many of them thus far? 42. 42 creep tumors killed in 16 minutes is not bad. Still, though, how many drones? 30 drones have gone down. 14 SCVs have died thus far. Tanks! Not enough. Tanks unsupported. Getting target fired by the Hydralisk. Got a big old engagement here, but good concave-ish from Crazy coming topside, coming left side. Hydra's trying to just stand here and win, and look at how well they're doing right now. Super well. They keep winning these engagements. Goodbye. Medevacs very smartly getting out of there if they can. Coming back home, a small group of Marines and Marauders trying to defend. And yeah, I mean, again, these guys, despite the presence of a Ghost Academy and personal cloaking for Crazy, he's made 0 ghosts in this game. 0. So that's weird. I mean, I guess he hasn't really needed them. Ghosts, well, steady targeting against Hydras is not bad. It does one-shot them. Who knows? Another small engagement here. Blinding Cloud coming through the Blinding Cloud, though, is Crazy, which is hilarious. And again, these engagements are a lot closer than I would expect just for Hydra. But coming from the backside with small reinforcements from behind. The number of medevacs that have been killed is 12. So many dead medevacs. And how many does Crazy have right now? The answer is 1. It's not 1 medevac. I think ViBE might just have this thing, you guys. I don't really see Crazy coming back from this one. Got those Vipers. Okay, so he did need some Vipers after all. They're consuming this extractor. They're going to kill it. Oh, no. ViBE, very smartly pulling off. I'm sorry, ViBE. I insulted your game sense. Why would you kill your own extractor like that? You're better than that. Of course you're better than that. 120 to 95 total supply. ViBE is up. He's sneaking around. He's setting up to kill the extractor that was pretty much almost already dead because ViBE had sucked energy points off of it. Health points. Converted them into energy using consume. More creep tumors going down. This 7th base of ViBE's kind of in trouble. Abducting tank, gone. Straight up Marines, not enough in this situation. Vipers overextending a little bit. Where are you going, Vipers? You can't lead the army like this, I guess. He really doesn't want Crazy to have medevacs. There's 2. But 14 of them have been killed by Hydras. And Vipers, I guess. 144 to 113 total supply. ViBE has a substantial lead right now. Crazy's been on 4 bases for a while. 5th base replanted from ViBE. 7th base here, but absolutely no income is coming from it at all. Lot of barracks here. Lot of barracks from Crazy. How many does he have? 8. He's got 8 barracks. Most of them are reactored. A couple of them with the tech labs. Small group. Every army that Crazy puts out seems like it's smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. And ViBEs just keep getting bigger. He's not taking bad engagements. Retaking his 6th base, 2, 5th base, 6th base, and 7th base happily running. 4th base dead. Dead again. This is so proof of concept out of ViBE. I really don't know how else to explain it. It is so proof of concept. Hydras on the high ground. Killing more SCVs in that harassment. 20 SCVs have been killed so far. Not a huge number, but it's not great for Crazy. Parasitic bomb on the medevac. Good job boosting and getting that one out of there by Crazy. That was nice. That was nice. Abducting another tank. Marines trying to save it. No, too many Hydras. Too many. on the high ground here. I am shocked there have been no banelings, no infestors, no splash damage at all out of ViBE against this super marine heavy composition out of Crazy. I don't know what else to say here, really. All right, so straight up engagement. We've seen a million of these. Blinding Cloud goes down again, which does work on Bio, not just the tanks and the Thors and stuff. And actually, Crazy winning that battle. What was different? Whoa, 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 whoa. He won that thing handily. I don't know what that was, but the Viper is trying to retreat. Kind of getting picked out of the sky. The 7th base getting target fired. A small group of Hydras trying to come in here, but ViBE's only making 7 Hydras at a time. Loses the 7th base there. A little bit overstimmed is Crazy. He's been pressing that stim button a little bit too much here, but he feels like he's got it. He feels like he needs to push or he's going to be in a lot of trouble here. Killing that base was really big. Sitting here between the natural base and the 5th base of ViBE's and just killing everything that comes out. This drone massacre is a real bad one for ViBE. Parasitic Bomb tossed onto the medevac. Good job peeling it off once again here. But just 5 Hydras being made at a time, and that's a good game from ViBE. ViBE is defeated, and Crazy is victorious. Excellent, excellent job there from Mr. Crazy. I don't think it's the same guy. I'm pretty sure it's not the Korean player, but like, what would he be playing on the NA ladder at the GM level? I don't buy it. Anyway, good game. That was really fun. And again, very proof of concept-y. Hydra, Viper only out of ViBE. Lost 211 Hydras. That's the most I've ever seen killed, I think, in one game. 5 hatches down. That is credit to Crazy on that one. And 41 drones killed. Not a huge number of drones, but enough. Crazy ended up losing 15 tanks, 323 Marines, 30 Marauders. Yeah, there's 2 Marauders, so all but 2 of the Marauders ever made in this entire game got killed. That's a lot. 15 medevacs down. 28,000 resources lost for Crazy, and 40,000 total. 40,000 total lost for ViBE. Really, really cost efficient here from Crazy on that bio. I don't know. That last battle, I kind of want to go back and take a look at it. We're done here if you just want to go, if you hate it when I rewind. But check this out. I mean, it's 183 to 149 total supply. Of course, there is a bigger army supply for Crazy here, but here's the engagement. Blinding Cloud on the bio. Hydras, is it just... It's not really target firing by Crazy, but somehow the Hydras are evaporating faster than they have the entire game. Hydras had been handling situations like that fairly well, and then in that engagement they didn't. So if you know what happened there in the comments, let me know, because I am very confused about why he won that when every other Hydra straight-up engagement ViBE was fine with. He didn't crush it sometimes, but he won a lot. Very strange. And then ViBE was just down. He was just down on money at that point. And again, that's because efficiency. 40,000 resources lost compared to 28. That just means Crazy was able to sit there on fewer bases. ViBE had to get more bases going, kept losing hatcheries, mined out his first 3 bases entirely. Then was down to 200 minerals when he needed to remax and he couldn't do it. So, interesting game for sure. All right, so that's going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. Go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, and Patreon, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.